Semen retention, when viewed through the lens of Buddhist teachings, is not just a physical discipline but a path toward deep mindfulness and conscious living. The Buddha often spoke about mastering desires, not by suppressing them with anger or fear, but by transforming them into fuel for awareness and enlightenment. In his thoughts, attachment to pleasure is one of the roots of suffering, and semen retention aligns with this principle because it is the practice of stepping away from momentary indulgence in favor of long-term clarity. The man who practices semen retention is not simply preserving his biological energy. He is learning to become detached from cravings that cloud the mind and trap him in cycles of dissatisfaction. The discipline builds patience, teaches how to sit with discomfort, and allows an individual to feel the subtle energies of life moving within. Just as Buddha encouraged meditation to observe the restless nature of thought and desire, semen retention becomes a meditation of the body. It is the conscious choice to redirect energy upward, refining it into insight, focus, and peace. Buddha taught that human suffering stems from the endless chase after sensations, and the identification with those desires as self. Semen retention is a profound experiment in testing this truth directly. A man who engages in retention will immediately face the mind's resistance, urges, cravings, fantasies, and the pull toward instant relief. This struggle mirrors the core of Buddhist practice, which is to sit with craving without reacting, to observe the impermanence of desire, and to discover freedom in not being enslaved by it. When the practitioner resists ejaculation, not out of repression, but out of wisdom, he begins to discover that the craving eventually subsides, replaced by serenity and clarity. Buddha's path of the middle way is also relevant here. Semen retention should not be an extreme suppression that causes tension, nor an indulgence in constant release. Instead, it is a balanced relationship with sexuality, acknowledging it, respecting it, and channeling it with conscious intention. This balance is the very essence of Buddhist living, walking between indulgence and denial, choosing awareness at every step. One powerful story from the Buddhist tradition illustrates this alignment with semen retention: the tale of Siddhartha Gautama himself before enlightenment. As a prince, Siddhartha was surrounded by pleasures, luxuries, and distractions. Yet he felt an emptiness that wealth and indulgence could not fill. When he left the palace, he initially went into extreme asceticism, starving his body, denying every urge, and punishing himself in hopes of attaining liberation. But he realized that this path was not sustainable and did not lead to true freedom. Instead, under the Bodhi tree, he embraced the middle way, neither overindulgence nor severe deprivation, but conscious moderation. This same principle applies to semen retention. It is not about despising sexuality or considering it evil, but about anchoring it in mindfulness, so it becomes a source of clarity rather than confusion. The man who practices retention with awareness is, in essence, walking a path very similar to the Buddha's realization under the Bodhi tree. His life force is conserved, his mind grows steady, and his inner vision sharpens as he learns to channel desire into wisdom. Modern men who have practiced semen retention often describe experiences that echo Buddhist insights. They report greater energy, sharper concentration, deeper states of meditation, and an increased ability to remain calm in stressful situations. For example, consider the story of Arjun, a 35-year-old man who struggled with addiction to instant gratification through casual encounters and digital stimulation. His life was scattered. He lacked focus, his career stagnated, and his relationships were shallow. After learning about Buddhist teachings on desire and starting a semen retention practice, he committed himself to a mindful path. Instead of numbing his urges, he began meditating daily, observing his cravings as passing clouds rather than commands. Within months, his energy increased. He started a new business, and he began radiating a calm presence that drew people toward him. His story is not unique, but reflects how semen retention, grounded in mindful awareness, allows men to reclaim control over their lives. It is not merely biological, it is psychological, emotional, and spiritual, aligning with the Buddhist teaching that mastery of desire brings liberation. Semen retention through a Buddhist lens also highlights the transformation of sexual energy into compassion and wisdom. The Buddha often emphasized the importance of compassion, seeing beyond self-interest into the interconnectedness of all beings. When a man retains his semen, he conserves not just physical vitality, but also emotional stability, which can then be directed outward toward others. Instead of being drained or caught in cycles of lust, he becomes anchored, and his presence provides calm and safety to those around him. His discipline cultivates respect for women, not as objects of desire, but as partners in the shared path of growth. In many Buddhist monasteries, monks channel celibacy into deep compassion, turning away from personal gratification to serve humanity. While semen retention does not require becoming a monk, It follows a similar principle, transforming desire into higher service. The man who walks this path naturally attracts respect, trust, and harmony in his relationships, embodying Buddhist teaching that true strength is not domination but mastery of self. Ultimately, Buddha's thoughts remind us that semen retention is not just about holding back a physical release, but about awakening to a new dimension of living. It teaches mindfulness in the body, clarity in the mind, and compassion in the heart. The practice becomes a conscious anchor that stabilizes life in a world of distractions. Through this discipline, men discover that true pleasure does not come from indulgence, but from presence, from being alive and aware in every moment. Just as the Buddha found enlightenment by sitting still and observing the nature of desire, modern men can find a form of liberation through semen retention. By watching their urges without attachment and by learning to transmute energy into higher purpose, the path is challenging. But as the Buddha taught, no one saves us but ourselves. No one can, and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. Retention is one such path, offering not only vitality but also wisdom, presence, and peace. Before we conclude, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to drop your location in the comments. I love to know where you're rewatching from. And if you ever have any questions, join our Telegram channel where we interact directly and help each other grow. The link is in the description.